Public transport has always been a reflection of the times, and in recent years the global transportation sector has undergone a transformative shift towards electrification. One of the most significant developments in South Africa in 2025 has been the introduction of the BYD eBus B12 electric buses into the fleet of Golden Arrow Bus Services (GABS), the longest-running and largest commuter bus company in Cape Town. This initiative not only represents a technological leap for South Africa's public transport industry but also signifies a broader movement towards sustainable development, urban modernization, and the reduction of carbon emissions. Golden Arrow Bus Services has been a trusted name in Cape Town for over 160 years, having begun operations in 1861. Its long-standing role in providing affordable, accessible, and reliable transport to millions of passengers has given the company a unique place in South African history. But 2025 marked an especially important milestone. The company became the first in the country to deploy a large-scale electric bus fleet. These new vehicles, the BYD eBus B12, have begun reshaping the way commuters experience public transportation while addressing some of South Africa's most pressing energy, environmental, and social challenges. The context of transport in South Africa. For decades, public transportation in the country has been dominated by diesel-powered buses, minibus taxis, and rail services. While these modes of transport have served millions of people daily, they have also contributed to issues such as 1. High carbon emissions. Reliance on fossil fuels has made South Africa one of Africa's biggest emitters. 2. Rising fuel costs. Fluctuating oil prices and weak currency increase diesel expenses. 3. Air quality problems. Diesel exhaust contributes to health risks. 4. Unreliable rail infrastructure, forcing people to depend heavily on road-based transport. Against this backdrop, Cape Town's adoption of electric buses stands out as a bold and necessary intervention. Golden Arrow's role. Golden Arrow operates 1,100+ buses carrying over 250,000 passengers daily. It is one of Cape Town's transport lifelines. In 2021, it began experimenting with electric mobility by piloting 2 BYD buses. After years of testing, in 2025 the company launched 20 BYD eBus B12 vehicles, with plans to expand to 120 by year-end. Why BYD eBus B12? BYD, Build Your Dreams, is a global leader in electric mobility. Its buses are deployed in Europe, Asia, and Latin America. The eBus B12 was chosen because of 12.5 meters length, 65 passenger capacity, lithium iron phosphate batteries, safe, durable, long-lasting, 200+ km range per charge, fast charging compatibility, modern passenger comforts, AC, quiet ride, environmental and economic significance, cuts carbon emissions, reduces operating costs compared to diesel, improves air quality, aligns with South Africa's climate goals, creates jobs in infrastructure and maintenance. Symbolism and public reception. Cape Town commuters see these buses as symbols of progress. The quiet ride, modern design, and eco-friendly identity bring pride to passengers. Other African cities are watching closely, considering similar initiatives. Conclusion Part 1. The launch of the BYD eBus B12 is not just about transport, it's about South Africa's sustainable future. Technical features, operations, and innovation. The BYD eBus B12 represents world-class engineering adapted to South Africa's needs. 1. Design and passenger comfort. Low floor entry for accessibility. Seating for 65 passengers. Air-conditioned interior. LED lighting and ergonomic seats. Virtually silent operation compared to diesel buses. 2. Battery technology. The bus uses lithium iron phosphate LFP batteries, offering safety, low risk of overheating. Long lifespan, up to 12 years. Stable performance in varied temperatures. Range of 200 to 250 km per charge. 3. Charging infrastructure. Golden Arrow has built charging depots across Cape Town. Fast charging, 2 to 3 hours. Overnight charging, 5 to 6 hours. Future plan. Solar-powered depots to reduce grid dependency. 4. Road performance. Instant torque for strong acceleration. Smooth handling and quiet cabins. Reliable on Cape Town's hilly terrain. Reduced driver fatigue and improved passenger experience. 5. Safety and digital features. Battery management system for monitoring. Regenerative braking to save energy. CCTV and tracking for safety. Telematics for real-time fleet monitoring. 6. Operations and training. Golden Arrow began with high-density commuter routes to maximize efficiency. Drivers and technicians received specialized training from BYD to handle electric bus systems. 7. Innovation for Africa. The project shows that electric buses can succeed even in countries with power shortages. Cape Town's experiment is influencing other African cities Nairobi, Lagos, Kigali, Johannesburg, to study electrification. Conclusion Part 2. The BYD eBus B12 proves that technology can be adapted to Africa's needs, combining comfort, efficiency, and sustainability. 1. Challenges. High costs. Electric buses cost 2 to 3x more upfront than diesel. Electricity supply. South Africa's load-shedding crisis makes charging difficult. Infrastructure demands. Charging depots and upgrades require heavy investment. Skills gap. Drivers, engineers, and technicians need retraining. Range limitations 200 to 250 km is excellent for city use, but not ideal for intercity travel. 2. Opportunities. Environmental leadership. Cape Town leads Africa in clean transport. Long-term savings. Lower fuel and maintenance costs. Health benefits. Cleaner air reduces disease and healthcare costs. Job creation. Local industries for charging stations, solar integration, and technical training. Public awareness. Educates citizens about climate action. Policy influence. Inspires other South African municipalities. Regional role. Cities across Africa are monitoring Cape Town's progress. Economic diversification. Reduces dependence on fuel imports. Cultural shift. Sustainability becomes part of daily commuting. 4. Symbolism and legacy. The BYD eBus B12 is not just a bus, it's a symbol of transformation. It shows that South Africa can lead in innovation and sustainability. Conclusion Part 3. The challenges are real, but the opportunities are greater. Golden Arrow's electric fleet proves that bold steps can reshape society. 1. Expansion plans. Golden Arrow plans to grow its fleet from 20 buses in early 2025 to 120 by year-end. Over the next decade, the company aims for full electrification of key routes. 2. Integration with renewable energy. Future depots may use solar and wind power, reducing reliance on the unstable grid. This could make Cape Town's bus system one of the greenest in the world. 3. Influence on national policy. If successful, Golden Arrow's model could inspire national government subsidies for electric transport, creating a roadmap for Johannesburg, Durban, Pretoria, and other cities. 4. Regional leadership. Cape Town could become the hub for African electric mobility, exporting knowledge, training, and even local manufacturing of bus bodies. 5. Potential challenges ahead. Managing electricity shortages, ensuring long-term affordability, scaling charging networks, avoiding dependence on imported technology by developing local capacity. 6. Vision for the future. By 2030, Cape Town could operate one of Africa's largest zero-emission bus fleets, making it a global example of how developing cities can embrace sustainability. Final conclusion. The Golden Arrow BYD eBus B12 project is a landmark in South Africa's transport history. It combines advanced technology with a vision for sustainability, proving that Africa can lead in green innovation. From Part 1's introduction and history, through Part 2's technical details, Part 3's challenges and opportunities, to Part 4's vision for the future, the story of the BYD eBus B12 shows a journey of courage, innovation, and transformation. In 2025, Cape Town did not just launch a bus, it launched a new era for Africa. The launch of the BYD eBus B12 in Cape Town is not only a technical or environmental milestone, it also touches the social, economic, and cultural fabric of South African society. Public transport is deeply intertwined with issues of accessibility, equity, employment, and urban development, and Golden Arrow's move toward electrification carries powerful implications in each of these areas. 1. Accessibility and social inclusion. One of the greatest strengths of public transport lies in its ability to connect communities. For many low and middle-income residents of Cape Town, buses are not a choice but a necessity. The electrification of Golden Arrow's fleet contributes to social inclusion in several ways. Affordable fares. By reducing operational costs in the long run, electric buses can help keep fares affordable for working-class commuters. Improved comfort. Features like low floors, quiet cabins, and air conditioning ensure that marginalized groups, including the elderly and people with disabilities, have better access and comfort. Cleaner neighborhoods. Many bus routes run through densely populated areas. By cutting emissions, Golden Arrow is directly improving the living environment of these communities. 2. Economic benefits and job creation. Electric mobility is a new frontier for the South African economy. While critics worry about job losses in traditional diesel maintenance, the shift to electric buses actually stimulates new forms of employment. Technical training programs for electric motor mechanics and battery specialists. Infrastructure development projects for charging stations and renewable power systems. Local manufacturing opportunities, since BYD chassis may be imported but bus bodies can be built locally, creating factory jobs. This transition contributes to building a green economy in South Africa, one that is less dependent on fossil fuel imports and more aligned with global clean technology trends. 3. Gender and safety dimensions. For many women, safety on public transport is a daily concern. The introduction of the BYD eBus B12 indirectly addresses this by better lighting and design in bus interiors, CCTV and telematics improving security, reliable schedules reducing long waiting times at unsafe stops. Culturally, these changes help shift perceptions of buses from being a last resort for the poor to being a modern, safe, and sustainable choice for all citizens. 4. Cultural shift in public perception. Electric buses also represent a cultural transformation. For years, South Africans associated progress with private cars. But now, the presence of sleek, quiet, and modern buses changes that narrative. Public transport begins to carry a symbol of pride, a statement that Cape Town is keeping pace with global innovation. 5. Community and education. Golden Arrow has also embraced the role of educator. Public campaigns introduce commuters to the benefits of electric mobility, climate action, and sustainability. Schoolchildren riding on these buses grow up seeing green technology as normal, creating long-term cultural acceptance of environmental responsibility. Conclusion of Part 5. The BYD eBus B12 is not just a bus, it is a social equalizer, an economic stimulator, and a cultural influencer. The story of Golden Arrow and the BYD eBus B12 is not confined to Cape Town. It has regional and global significance, offering lessons for cities worldwide, especially in the global south, where infrastructure and resources are often limited. 1. Lessons for African cities. Cities like Nairobi, Dar es Salaam, Lagos, and Kigali face similar transport challenges: overpopulation, pollution, and dependency on diesel. Cape Town's project offers a replicable model. Start small with pilot programs. Build charging infrastructure gradually. Train local workers in electric mobility. Expand fleets strategically along dense commuter routes. The key lesson is that electrification is possible even in challenging contexts, provided there is commitment and vision. 2. Lessons for the Global South. Latin American cities, e.g., Bogotá, Santiago, Sao Paulo, have already adopted BYD electric buses at scale. Cape Town adds an African dimension to this movement, showing that cities in developing economies can leapfrog directly to cleaner technology without repeating the mistakes of the fossil fuel era. 3. Partnership models. Golden Arrow's success is also about partnerships. The company collaborated with BYD, international technology provider, local government for policy and funding support, educational institutions for training. This hybrid model of public-private collaboration can guide future African projects. 4. The role of renewable energy. One of the most exciting prospects is the integration of buses with renewable power. Imagine Cape Town's future. Solar panels across depots, wind energy feeding charging hubs, and buses running entirely on clean, domestic power. This would not only end reliance on coal-based electricity but also create resilience against load shedding. 5. The next decade, 2025-2035. Looking ahead, several trends are likely. Full electrification of Cape Town's fleet by 2035. Expansion to intercity routes with improved battery ranges. Emergence of local manufacturing plants for African-built electric buses. Integration with smart cities, where buses connect with digital apps, AI-based route planning, and renewable microgrids. 6. Global symbolism. Cape Town's Golden Arrow buses symbolize that Africa is not just a follower, it can be a leader in sustainable mobility. While wealthier countries experiment with high-tech transport, South Africa demonstrates practical, scalable, and socially impactful solutions that can inspire both developed and developing nations. Conclusion of Part 6. The BYD eBus B12 is more than a Cape Town success, it is a blueprint for Africa and the wider global South, showing how sustainable transport can transform economies, societies, and cities for generations to come.